Fish can breathe underwater. Okay, everyone knows that. But have you ever stopped to think why we can't breathe underwater while fish and other aquatic animals can? Because, you see, water has oxygen, so why can't we breathe underwater? All these answers are here in this video. Hey, curious ones! Guys, have you ever imagined how amazing it would be to breathe underwater like fish? Wow, it would be so cool. It would be like being Aquaman. But unfortunately, that's not possible for us humans. It all has to do with our evolution, and today we are going to understand why our lungs can't do this job. But first, leave that like and subscribe to the channel because without you, we don't function. If you like content like this, activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Cool? So let's go! Curious ones, the main reason we can't breathe underwater is that our lungs are adapted to breathe air, while fish have gills, specialized for capturing dissolved oxygen in the water. Human evolution led us to develop lungs for breathing atmospheric air instead of gills for breathing water. Our ancestors, the tetrapods, evolved from sarcoptery, giant fish which had lobed fins and eventually developed respiratory structures adapted to life on land. Water has an oxygen concentration about 30 times lower than air, and the diffusion of oxygen is much slower in water. Additionally, water is 800 times denser and 50 times more viscous than air, making aquatic respiration energetically more costly for animals with lungs. Fish have gills, which are structures adapted to capture oxygen in water. Gills only function when they are wet and use a unidirectional flow of water to optimize oxygen capture. This flow enters through the mouth, passes through the gills, and exits through the lateral openings called opercula. This process is fundamental for fish to extract the necessary amount of oxygen from water to survive. If the water flow were bidirectional, like lung breathing, the energy cost would be much higher, demanding more from the animal's metabolism. The lungs of tetrapods evolved from an ancestral structure called the swim bladder, present in sarcoptery giants. This bladder helped fish control their buoyancy and, over time, transformed into rudimentary lungs, allowing aerial respiration. This adaptation was crucial for the transition of vertebrates from water to land, enabling them to breathe air directly and benefit from the higher oxygen concentration available in the terrestrial environment. Lungfish, such as the Brazilian piramboia, have both gills and rudimentary lungs, allowing them to breathe air during drought periods. These fish give us an idea of how the transition from water to land might have occurred. During evolution, many fish developed the ability to breathe air, an important adaptation for surviving in unstable aquatic environments where oxygen levels in the water can vary. Lungfish exemplify this transition well, using rudimentary lungs to breathe when they are out of water or in oxygen-poor waters. Marine mammals, such as cetaceans and turtles, return to aquatic life but still need to breathe air. They have adaptations to survive underwater, such as the ability to hold their breath for long periods, but they cannot breathe water. Whales, for example, have developed efficient respiratory systems that allow them to dive for long periods, but always need to return to the surface to breathe. This is because the oxygen concentration in the air is much higher than in water, and the difficulty of pumping water through lungs adapted to breathe air. The density and viscosity of water make aquatic respiration through lungs highly inefficient. To breathe underwater, a completely different system would be needed, capable of efficiently extracting oxygen from water. However, our evolution followed a different path, optimizing our respiratory systems for terrestrial life. The unidirectional flow of water through the gills in fish is an example of how evolution can adapt an organism to maximize the efficiency of a vital process in a specific environment. Lungfish and other animals that can breathe air demonstrate life's incredible adaptive capacity, showing how evolution can explore different strategies to meet environmental challenges. And although tetrapods lost the ability to breathe underwater, the conquest of land brought numerous advantages, such as higher oxygen availability and less resistance to movement. This allowed the development of an enormous diversity of terrestrial life forms, including us, humans. So, to summarize, we can't breathe underwater due to the fundamental differences between air and water and our evolutionary history. Our lungs are adapted to breathe air, and evolution led us to lose the ability to use gills. And you, curious one, what did you think of this information? Leave your comment below. Let's have a chat. And if you like learning about evolution, we have a complete video on the history of humanity. But if you prefer something more playful and crazy, there's nothing crazier than flat Earth, right? That's all for today, curious ones. See you next time and stay always curious.